We're here. For those of you just now tuning in, my name's CarmelOP, and welcome back to Still Lakes the Deep. I think we're approaching the end. Things are getting all twisted. Things are getting twisted. The only person left alive, or only people left alive, are me and Finley. And Finley's gonna blow up the oil rig. Okay. I don't know where she's gone to. Also, I don't know how we're gonna stop this. I guess the rig blowing up isn't the worst thing possible, huh? Did she hurt her leg or something? And all the enemies are dead now, except for Gibbo, unless he got killed off screen or something. Unless like I got confused on names. See, that's the thing. Like, you don't get like acquainted with the characters enough to really remember. Oh, shit's popping in and out. Oh, come on, Finley. Come on, don't blow us up. Oh, really? Come on, game. Okay, game. Let's I don't know. Yeah, bitch, you're hurt.
Jesus, Finley. Fucking hell.
Guys.
I'm here, Finley, I'm here.
Guys. Is it here? When it's close.
Who do I hear?
Christmas card.
I hear my wife. I just want to get back to her, Finley. To my weans.
I hear my boy. When he was wee, you know. I hear him now.
I'm thinking Kate.
He's singing. We must see him again, guys.
There's got to be a ship coming. You said it yourself.
Christ, guys. We don't want him coming. Jesus!
I'm sorry, Finley. I don't know what to do.
We're going to face it, cuz.
What do you mean?
Destroy it.
We can't get back. We can't. But I can.
What?
There's no going to stop with us. Fuck's sake, McCleary. For once in your life. Be brave. Be brave for them. You can't save yourself. But you can save them.
Jesus, Finley.
You want to leave it a chance? If it gets to the mainland, you know I'm right. I'm always fucking right.
Oh, Christ. Christ. All right. All right. For them.
Oh no. I mean, guys, I don't know. Oh, look, I predicted this yesterday, that we're gonna walk up through the middle into the core of this thing. Oh man, I don't even know where to start with this. I really don't. There's a lot wrong. Oh fuck, I got a pimple somewhere. There's a lot wrong with this. Oh, is this it? This might be it. It's fucking bright though. Are we... Okay, we're in the derrick. Which I guess is the drill like the actual drill itself. Where this thing's just kind of been... So like what I'm wondering now is like, why were there only like 4 monsters as opposed to like... as opposed to like the entire crew turning. Yeah. A lot of cosmic horror going on here.
Christ. We never had a chance.
No, we didn't. Come on, blow it up. Blow it up. Let's finish this. Please, like, have some eyes just start glowing. Please, eyes, something.
Sorry.
Oh, really? Nothing yet? I guess it takes a second. Oh. What that end with? Oh, nope. There we go. Damn. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Okay.
You don't recognize me, do you?
No, sorry, love. You know me.
You could say that. It's been a long time though, Kaz.
Hold up. Susan Lafferty. Fuck's sake, is that you?
The very same. Christ, Kaz, but you look no different.
I've still got the nose, eh?
Well, looks like someone did a good job of spreading it about your face.
Oh, the big man a drink.
Jesus,
Okay.
Kaz. Because I really want to be thinking about Roy right now.
He looks after me. He fucking adores you, you know.
Well, I am easy to love, Cameron McCreary.
Yeah. I'm finding that.
Shut up, great Suki Jim.
I do though, Suze. I fucking love you. I love you more than anything in this whole world.
Do Daft Bomb pop? You're not so bad yourself, all things considered.
Marry me.
What?
I'm serious.
Do what?
Marry me. We'll make beautiful Waynes. I want to spend my whole life with you.
She's perfect.
She looks just like you.
Thank God for that. She's got your eyes though.
My dad's eyes.
I'm sorry, Kaz. I know you'd have wanted him to meet her.
Nah, fuck him. If he wasn't interested in me, why would he care about her?
He loved you in his way, Kaz.
I'll never leave you, Suze. I'll be at your side forever. And I'm always going to be here for this Wayne.
Except he has 2 kids. Hey, can we stop with the fucking bright white screen, please? I hear breath. What the fuck? Okay. The fuck? Okay, so can we see ourselves in the mirror? No. Okay, some drawings. Oh, look, a Charizard. Let's see here. Photos. Those are probably actual dev photos. I like that when like devs do that. They put like actual photos of their families like in the game as just like flavor. Yeah, she's asleep. Oh god, what's going to be behind this door when I open it? Probably nothing.
Kiss the Waynes for me. Tell him I'll be back for Christmas.
Oh, this is when he leaves to...
I'm sorry, Suze.
Okay.
Hey, Kaz. I'm sorry it's been so hard.
Oh, the first letter.
Just wanted to send you this. To say we'll get through it. I know we will. Just take care out there and bring my beautiful big gallus man back home in one piece, okay? I miss you and I love you. And the girls miss and love you. I'm still raging at Roy, but he's a good man and I know he'll look after you. Whatever happens, we will be all right. We can weather this. Just wanted to say that to you, Kaz. To keep you safe and close and make sure you know to come home to us. I love you, Cameron McCreary. Be safe out there on those waters. My man. My love.
Oh, okay. Is that it? Yeah, Don Pinchbeck or whoever wrote all this, whoever okayed this final game probably doesn't need to be the lead of anything, honestly. It's just straight up not good. We're going to just speed past this if we can. I want to make sure there's not like a post-credit scene or it's going to say, oh hey, you have I don't care about the voice crew. Voice acting was alright, which I'm not the best judge of that, so take what I say with a grain of salt. I just want to see if there's like a post-credit scene and see if there's like a new difficulty. I do have, like, fuck, I gotta replay this and try to get killed. Get killed by something that's not the environment. I'll probably let myself get killed by each enemy once, maybe? Jesus Christ, come on. Yeah, keep going. Come on, let's get this over with. I could skip it, but I don't want to skip it in case there's a post-game cutscene, but I doubt there is. I don't want to start speaking my final thoughts until we get right on, you know, until we get to the menu. Okay, there's the engines and all the tech they used. Completed the game. Start new game. Oh no, cancel. Fuck that. That was still Wakes to the Deep, but we still, fuck me, I don't want to do this part because it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Okay. Ooh, let me find where that's at, actually. Where we at? It feels like hold on. I gotta hold back my thoughts before I actually say anything I want to. There we go. Stacks. No, that's not what we. Oh wait. No, it's on the desktop. It's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute. We'll open up the 10-point review system. There we go. Always using the notepad. Okay. All right. This is not going to be good. Oh man, this is really not going to be good. Oh no. All this. Okay. Actually, before I do that, there's one thing I need to change up really quick. Let's fix that. Let me change that to about 55. Okay, save and close. All right. So, you know what time that it is, guys. All right. I am going to. Yeah, it only lasted like 4 hours total. Yeah, like 4.5 hours. It's not that long of a game, which is unfortunate. But it's kind of this weird balance you have to achieve, right? It's this weird balance where you have to keep the game engaging, which is really hard to do for a survival horror game. Actually, hold on, we'll do this really quick. We'll just load up here to where it's quiet, because I don't want that menu music playing over and over again. Okay, we'll just hang out here. Okay, yeah, we'll just hang out here. Yeah, sure. Okay. Anyway, so review time for this. You know, the worst part about it is I was really looking forward to this game. I thought it was going to be fantastic. I was excited for a new horror game, the survival horror game after the Bendy series, and it just underdelivered. So anyway, graphically overall, like, it does look good. The character models, they are not the best. Like, they do look kind of dated, but everything else in the game looks good. Even like just like the simple stuff, like you can't really interact with that many items in the game, but like all the panels, all the hallways, all the little things that even though you can't touch them and interact with them, they look good. All the assets in the maps. The only thing I really don't like is the goopy enemies that they kind of had going on. But overall, I don't think that's a graphic issue. I think it's more of a design choice issue. So with that being said, graphics overall gets a 1 objectively. Subjectively, I think it looks fine. There's definitely parts where it looks good and other parts not so much. But I think it's mainly the design choice of the enemies. So we'll just stick to a 1 with that as well. I think that's fair. Sound design, here's the hard thing about the sound design, right? Like during the chase sequences, they really make it feel like the monster's right behind you, which is good. That's what you want. But there's not really much else for it. There's not many places it can shine. That's kind of the issue. It does its job well, so you know, objectively it gets a 1, but subjectively it's teetering for that point for me. It is effective, it is good, it does do its job. I just don't think there's enough places to where it matters almost. You know? Let me think, because I did start streaming this yesterday. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, ambience was there, footsteps were there, you can hear monsters kind of, but you could see them before you could hear them, so there was really no need to listen for them most of the time, because the monsters were a non-threat, but we'll get into that. Yeah, I think subjectively I can give it a 1. It fits the bill. It fits the bill for me personally. It does enough. It does its job well. I just think it's an issue of that there's not a lot of it, not a lot of opportunities for it to shine. Music, the underscore was good. It was. The music, the ambient music was good. It did fill those gaps. It did its job. Not hard to fuck up. They didn't fuck it up. That's more than can be said for other developers. But I think the music does off-put the sound and ambience quite well. Definitely in the set pieces, it's definitely effective. And like when you get to safety, or when you get back onto like the top of the oil rig, it gives you like some music that lets you know you're kind of in a safe zone, which is nice. So I think personally that'll get a 1 from me. Polish, bugs, crashes, or annoyances. There's like a bug early on with the collision of those gas tanks. I'm not counting that. No major, I can't think of any major polish issues that hindered progress or hindered gameplay. I think everything functioned. At the end of the day, it did function. Can't think of any particular areas where it just failed. There might be, like, it could be a mileage may vary thing too, because I have a pretty high-end rig, and this was on max settings, so other people, maybe it'll affect them more, but me personally, it didn't. But there was no bugs, I didn't crash. There wasn't any general annoyances that were, no, I just thought of it. The way you magnetize to traversable objects, be it a vent you crawl through, the fucking walls that you have to squeeze in between, there's like 1,000 of those. You know, some of the parkour stuff, it's like, that's not like, the issue is like your player magnetizes it to it and it feels weird. I don't think most people will care about that. I think they'll get used to it, but to me, it's definitely annoying. Yeah, we'll just put that. So, yeah, that way I can remember. I can throw that in the script somewhere, I think, for the next review. Story. Oh God, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Jesus Christ. Effectiveness engagement and effectiveness / engagement of gameplay. Is it fun or makes you want to play for just one more turn? It's kind of boring. You know, there's really no puzzles to be solved. A lot of it's go here, do this. Enemy AI manipulation. And just hide and seek. That's a lot. I mean, that's a majority of survival horror games. But at the same time, that's all they did. Like they added wall lockers for you to hide in, and then I didn't seriously use those once. They had throwables in to where you can distract enemies, but that's only useful for one area, for one enemy type. One enemy type, Rennick, he just dies. He's just a chase sequence. Adair is one of those that you just kind of hide in places wherever you want to. I think Mirror was the one where we threw objects to distract him. Like, it's just very basic. I think they could have done a lot more with that. But I think it's the direction they went with the horror enemies they decided to base the story around. I would have much preferred. I'll say what I would have preferred this to be at the end. Anyway, I think most players, they'll get tired of it. This is more like of a horror light game, where if you're easily scared like I am, but you cannot push yourself to finish it, this will be for those people who cannot push themselves to finish a game. You know, for me, this was less scary than what I was hoping for. I thought it was going to be terrifying, which I didn't watch any of the trailers. I just heard survival horror on an oil rig, and then I was sold. I was sold on that, and then I was honestly disappointed because it's because of the story it's the angle of the story they chose, and then that dictates what enemies they have, and it just doesn't work. And I think they were so far along in development that they couldn't change it. I guarantee they could tell that it wasn't that good. From the little I saw, you seemed pretty scared. Yeah, well, at those points, like, to me, what's most scary is when you go into an area, or you go into an area and you're scared to progress, or you're just scared to progress in general. You don't want to go to the next room. You don't want to do the task at hand. You know you're going to be chased down. But here, like, once you figure out how the enemy AI works and what kind of the gameplay loop is, then it kind of goes downhill pretty quick. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, Bendy and the Ink Machine's a good example, actually. Or the Dark Revival. You know, that game's not really scary because you know how the enemies work. Once you know how the enemies work, then there's no mystery and there's no tension. And you're just kind of going through the motions. That's what the issue there was. And that's kind of how this is. Because the enemies are not ever present. And I think that's an important aspect you have to have for a horror game. If you look at The Dark Descent, if you look at Outlast, Soma, not so much. Actually, let me see what other horror games I got. Well, I don't even. Let's see here. Alien Isolation is a ever-present threat. Let's see here. The Forest, kind of. I wouldn't consider that a horror game. I would consider that with horror elements. Let's see here. Amnesia Rebirth, not so much. Because, like, the one thing you don't want to do is... So, like, typically with horror games, what you do is you kind of tease the threat, the enemy. And then at some point, there's a point in every horror game where it's like, now you can be killed. And after that point, you don't want to ever remove that threat of losing progress or being hunted. once the enemy is first in play, it's best practice to leave them in play. Whereas here, they kept coming in and out of play depending on where you are on the ship. I'm actually looking for horror games. I haven't completed many. There's Outlast. I still need to play Outlast 2. Penumbra Overture, Black Plague, which I haven't played those in a hot minute. Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 2 are good examples because you don't know when Nemesis or whatever he's called comes back in every now and then. You don't want your player to be at rest. Like you can give them a little bit of a reprieve, but you don't want it to where you don't want them to know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just want to give them a light at the end of the tunnel whenever they've done what they need to do. Fear 2 did that for me. Enemies keep changing, always scared to proceed. Yeah, that's what you want in a horror game. And here you're just kind of, there's nothing to it. Like you just proceed through the area. It was at first, I was scared because, you know, I didn't know how the enemies worked. And then after I found out that the enemies kind of suck, it's, you know, it goes away, unfortunately. And also that and the parkour system's fucking stupid. You do that so much in this game, and I think it's because it's a Chinese room game. I think that's it. I think if it were made by a different developer, it would be a lot more scary, and there'd be less kind of stupid shit in it. Because that's the problem. That's such the problem. It's so just... It wants to tell a story. It doesn't want you to play a game. It wants to tell you a story. Which, you know, whatever. Okay, so replayability post game. So here's where it gets even worse. So most of the time, if you have a game that's kind of either horror, stealth sim, or immersive sim, whatever you want to call it, RPG, most games have like lore just scattered around the game world, right? They have that, and you know, you want to go and like find out more about the world and what's going on. And here they just kind of tell you with Kaz's wife and their little thing going back and forth. You know, and it's just, there's nothing else to absorb there. Whereas you can look at Amnesia and see, or Amnesia the Dark Descent, and see that a lot of shit was going on in the background. Like, you know, how the main character of that game was really not that good of a person. Pay attention to the Outlast and see what's going on there. You read some more into Alien Isolation. You can find out notes about what's really going. You know, it's just stuff like that. And there's nothing here. It's literally just normal people who happen upon an eldritch nightmare. You know, or an alien nightmare, whatever you want to call it. And that's what happens. And that's it's just so unfortunate because there's nothing else to add that has greater context, so there's no reason to put those notes out in the world, and so you have zero chance of missing them because they don't exist, and therefore there's no reason to replay the game. You know, there's really no reason to play this after you've done it once. So, you know, nobody's gonna want to play this again. Length, it's 4.5 hours. Well, I think 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. I actually left it up because the net died. So here's another thing with horror games, and it's kind of every horror game suffers this. Every combat-less horror game suffers this, and it's that it gets old. You know, it's just something that's really, really hard to solve, if not impossible. Because you get tired of it, you get bored, you can't fight. It's run, hide, advance, run, hide, advance. You know, that's all it is. Thankfully here, it doesn't last too long. By the time you get tired of it, it's over. You know, well, no, I got tired of it about an hour or so ago, so that's a lie. So either way, is it short? Yeah. but I think most people will be happy that it's kind of short-ish. How much does this game? This game costs $35. Hold up. Fuck, dude. Imagine working 5 hours at a fucking McDonald's and paying for this piece of shit. I'd be pissed. I would be so pissed. Oh, man. I think another game after the review, maybe. We'll see. What the fuck? If we do, I do have the Warhammer 40k bolt gun DLC. But anyway, length too much or too little? I think it's too little, just because of a price point. For $35, you get 4 hours of. Well, it's almost a walking simulator. That's the worst thing. Zero easy. I kind of agree. For $35 for 4 hours of like just not good gameplay, man. Okay, environments, variability, and differentiation. Okay, so they did shine here, right? That you have an oil rig. Okay, perfectly normal oil rig that eventually goes to hell. I could have tried the speedrun for a refund. That's whatever. See, here's the reason I review games is because I have the money to buy piece of shit games. Not everybody does. So I like to prevent people from buying piece of shit games. It's simple as that. But anyway, oil rig, great setting. Out in the middle of nowhere, isolated. Only so many people are on the oil rig itself. They could have gone so many directions with how they wanted to approach the horror aspect of the game, but they went with an alien / eldritch horror nightmare thingamabob, whatever. But either way, as you progress through the game, you are going to backtrack through some areas, which is typically bad. Typically a bad thing. But here, they do enough to change the areas enough, destroy them, make you go through the levels slightly differently every time. You recognize some of the older areas you've already been through, but now they're flooded or they have that weird shit growing through it. I think they did a good job of, even though you're running through some similar areas or literally the same exact areas, I think they're changed just enough for you to actually appreciate it because you get to see the downfall of the oil rig. Okay, now for story. Jesus Christ. Oh, here's the oh God. I mean, there's a story, obviously. There's a story. But it's not good. It's pretty much a survival story. And before I really get into this, this game would have been better as like a movie or mini series on TV. If you've played, how can a 4-hour game have a story? If you've played a game called To the Moon, you know, that's a tearjerker of a story, but it has a story. I think there's even shorter games that have stories. But that goes back into the thing I was saying where there's no background story. It's because they went with this like cosmic horror enemy threat thing, right? If they had went with like an oil rig that had like a serial killer on it, right? And he cuts communication off. And, you know, everybody's suspecting each other of being the killer. And then, you know, you go through the oil rig, you find journals of people who may or may not be the killer. You know, that would have been a much better story than you knowing the threat right away. I don't, there's so much wrong with it. But yeah, a short game can have story. I want to say there's one I played recently that actually did have a good story. Where was it? Was it Filcher? Yeah, I think Filcher might have. Might have been Filcher. Either way, they could have been a lot like, so that's the thing is like there's no background story, there's no background motivations, there's nothing that's happened before the game that really matters other than our protagonist and his wife are kind of in a rocky spot with each other. And then it turns out the killer is yourself because you suffer with a mental condition thinking everyone was out to kill you. That would have been cool. That would have been fucking great. That would have been great. You know, like it's just, I think it's the problem is the monster they chose. I think that's legit it. If they had went with a cult, a singular serial killer, either of those two would have been great. I'm trying to avoid cosmic horror stuff. I think either of those two, you know, serial killer, cult, yourself as the killer and you just don't know it. I think that would have been good. But the fact that this is the enemy we have, just some dude, or not some dude, but some alien-like being that's like the thing, then it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So, and the actual story itself is just, oh, you gotta go do this, now you gotta go do this, now you gotta go do this, now you gotta go do this. Oh, the ship's gonna crash anyway. You know, that's pretty much Dead Space. That was Dead Space. You know, except in Dead Space, you're finding out more stuff that happened as to why the ship went down. Here you live it, which I personally like. I like it that you get to live it as the stuff happens, as things go bad, but they don't do anything else with it. That's kind of my biggest issue with it. Because it just doesn't satisfy. I don't think it satisfies anybody story-wise. Because there's no backstory to enjoy that adds to the current story, and the current story is, oh god, we gotta get out of here. That's all it is. So, I mean, what do, you know? So anyway, that story, I mean, it gets a 0. Like, I don't think most people will enjoy the story, and the gameplay doesn't hold it up either. So the entire package, should somebody buy this for $35? Should somebody buy it for $20? Should somebody buy it for $10? You know, that's the kicker. Can you honestly tell somebody to play this game for the asking price? And do you think the game's just good in general? And I don't think people will be satisfied with it. Even the crazy people on Steam, I think they're just kind of gaslighting themselves into thinking it's good. I would say that it's a character-driven story, but it's not. The character's boring. The only thing he's got going on is like him and his wife are arguing, and he like beat a dude up and sent him to the hospital. Beyond that, there's nothing going on. There's no conflict between him and other characters. There's no nothing. There's really nothing. So I don't think most people will, I don't think people will like this. I really don't. I think people will buy it. They will see the positive reviews on Steam. They will buy it and they will regret it by the end of it. As for myself, I cannot recommend anybody buy this for more than $5, honestly, because it's really a one and done. And you're kind of, I don't think you'll be engaged as you go through it. You're one time playing it. And I don't think it's a good game. I think it's a good idea. You know, oil rig, a horror game on an oil rig, you know? Come on. I think if they went with the angle of like the thing from, like John Carpenter's The Thing, if they went with that angle, I think it would have been much better. I think if you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend it. It's such a good movie. I think if they went with that angle, it would have been a stellar game. But objectively, this gets a 5 out of 10. Subjectively, this gets a 4 out of 10. They really did kill it with the environments. I will give them that. They did kill it. They killed it with the environment. But beyond that, just so much is wrong. So much is wrong with the game on so many levels.